Hey y'all, this is Southern Woods here. Welcome back to another brand tournament. All right, this time around we have cookies and crackers. All right, one is a sweet alternative to the other. They're both found in the same aisles, and I thought we'd combine them in this tournament. All right, so leave in the comments below real quick, what is your favorite cookie brand? What's your favorite cracker brand? And which ones do you hate, you'll never buy, and you want to see them knocked out early? All right, we have 29 brands being represented in this tournament. We have 10 categories in the Magical Bowl. And, of course, first round is going to be best out of 5. First to 3 points will win. If you don't know how this goes, just watch for a few minutes. You will get the hang of it. Without further ado, let's get this tournament started with the first matchup. We have the 17th seed Lorna Doone against the 16th seed Nutter Butter. What will be the first category we roll in the Magical Bowl? Looks like that's going to be Category 10. Category 10 to start us off is song references. How many times are these brands referenced in the music industry? For Nutter Butter, most famously, they're in a Beastie Boys song, as well as 130 total songs. For Lorna Doone, they are most notably in songs by Method Man and Lil Wayne, but only 14 songs total. So Nutter Butter has about 115 more songs. They're going to get the first point here in this tournament. Next category we got is Category 1. Category 1 this time around isn't going to be revenue because a lot of these brands are owned by Nabisco or Kellogg's, etc. All right, so it's hard to find their individual revenue streams based on the brand. So this is going to be based on total popularity. It's what they're seeded upon. Nutter Butter, a little bit more popular than Lorna Doone. They're going to get the nod here, going up 2-0. All right. Next up we have is Category 9. My 9s have lines. I am the black sheep of the world in that case. Number 9 is going to be product placements. How many times are these brands placed in movies and TV shows? For Lorna Doone, they're in a total of 15 different movies and TV shows. For Nutter Butter, surprisingly, only 4. So Lorna Doone not going to get swept. They get a point here. They're down 2-1. Next category we got is going to be 3. Category 3, y'all, is going to be customer review. All right, so I looked at their customer review ratings on Amazon for these products and see which had a better one. For Nutter Butter, they have a 4.8 out of 5-star rating, one of the best in this tournament. Lorna Doone, a 4.6, respectable, but not enough. Nutter Butter is going to win fairly easily, 3-1. Moving on to the Big 16, all right? Because we know the copyright term that we shall not say. They move on to round 2. The next matchup we have is the 9th seed Nilla Wafers against the 24th seed Chicken and a Biscuit. So we have a cookie versus cracker matchup right now. First category we got is subscribe. If you like this tournament so far or have been following these tournaments and want to see more, hit that subscribe button and join the Southern Woods community. For real though, this time we have like. Back to back pulling those. Hit that like button if you like this so far or if you think you're going to like the outcome. All right, now for real, third time's the charm. We have category 2 to start off this matchup, which is going to be established date. So the older brand is going to win here. Nilla Wafers were established all the way in 1898, over 100 years old, one of the oldest in this tournament. Meanwhile, Chicken and a Biscuit, 1964, all right, respectable, but nowhere near the age of Nilla Wafers. They're going to get the first point here. All right, next up, we got Category 7. Category 7 is going to be my look preference. So which logo looks better between Chicken and a Biscuit and Nilla Wafer? If you've watched my logo ranking video about these brands, then you know which one wins. But if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out because you're about to get hit with a little spoiler. All right, Chicken and a Biscuit was my 10th favorite logo in that video. Meanwhile, Nilla Wafers, I believe, was either 8 or 9. So very close, but I think Nilla Wafers has that just slight retro feel that I just am compelled to like a little bit more. But Chicken and a Biscuit is a very solid logo. It's vibrant, has a very nice color scheme. It's easy on the eyes. It pops. It's very good. However, I got to go with Nilla Wafers, who are going up 2-0. Next up we have is category 5. Category 5, we're hitting all the categories right now, is going to be variety of flavors. So whichever brand has the more variety of flavors, they're going to win. For Nilla Wafers, they have original. That's it. It's the good old original Nilla Wafers. That's going to hurt them here. Chicken and a Biscuit only have original and ranch. So they only have one more flavor than Nilla Wafers, but that is all they're going to need in this situation. Lucky them. They're not going to get swept, but they are down 2-1. All right, next up we have category 6. All right, category 6 here is going to be category 6 is actually variety of flavors. I messed that up. Category 5 is price, so we'll just pretend I got that right. So we'll do price now since I mixed up the categories. So this is going to be for your average bag or box of these cookies or crackers. Not an individual bag, not a family size. The most medium size I can find, which is typically 6 to 10 ounces. So let's check out Nilla Wafers. They'll run you about $4.80 per box. Looking at Chicken and a Biscuit, $4.70. All right, so 10 cents cheaper. Chicken and a Biscuit gonna get the point here, tying it up 2-2. All right, this has become a good matchup, even with my error, which technically wouldn't have mattered. All right. So next up we have is category 3. All right, category 3 is going to be the review. For Nilla Wafers, they have a 4.7 out of 5-star rating, which is really good. For Chicken and a Biscuit, they have a 4.7 out of 5-star rating. So it's all tied up still. We have to re-roll. Very good matchup. Now we have category 4, which is my preference. So one of these are going to go home. I really like Nilla Wafers. I think they're one of the better cookies out there. Put them in some banana pudding. That thing is amazing. I've never had Chicken and a Biscuit, so shame on me because that is going to hurt them here. They cannot get the point. Nilla Wafers is going to win 3-2 in a close matchup. It was almost a Cinderella story waiting to happen, but Nilla Wafers moving on to the second round. Chicken and a Biscuit, cut your head off. You're out of here. Next matchup, our third matchup, we have the 25th seed Crunchmaster against the 8th seed Wheat Thins. First category in this one is going to be category 8. Category 8 is going to be best slogan. So whichever slogan is better is the one that I am going to choose. For Wheat Thins, their slogan is "Do what you do." I can respect that. It's simple. It's kind of catchy. Do what you do. Don't really see how it pertains to crackers, really. However, decent. For Crunchmaster, they did not have a slogan that I could find, so Wheat Thins gets away with the one, going up 1-0. The next category we have is number 1. All right, this is what they're seated upon based on a popularity ranking online, and Wheat Thins was ranked 8th best. All right, or 8th most popular, Crunchmaster 25th. So Wheat Thins goes up 2-0, threatening to sweep Crunchmaster. Category 9 is what we have next, which is going to be those product placements. For Wheat Thins, they are in 16 movies and TV shows. For Crunchmaster, they're in none that I could find. So Wheat Thins gives us our first sweep, 3-0, moving on to the Big 16, the second round. Crunchmaster, you are out of here. You were not the master. All right, I'm trying to get these puns going a little bit. Next matchup we have is the 5th seed Ritz Crackers against the 28th seed Girl Scout Cookies. Second to last seed are the Girl Scouts, but they make some fire cookies. First category we have is 2. Category 2 is going to be established date. All right, for Ritz, they were established in 1934. All right, getting close to 100 years ago. For Girl Scout cookies, 1917. Over 100 years ago for the Girl Scout cookies. They go up 1-0. Category 7 now is what we're going to. Category 7 is going to be the look preferences once again. Which logo looks better? I'm going to be honest, don't care for the Girl Scout cookie logo or the Girl Scout logo. I like the color scheme, but I don't care for it overall. Meanwhile, Ritz, I think, is one of the better logos in this tournament. The blue and yellow or blue and gold color scheme is very nice. It's simple but pops. I have to give the point here to Ritz, who is going to tie it up 1-1. Next category we have is category 5. Category 5, this time I'll get it right. It's going to be the price per box or bag. All right, for Ritz, it is about $4.75 for a box. All right, just under $5. But for Girl Scout cookies, it is a whopping $13 on average for a box of Girl Scout cookies. All right, I didn't know they've gotten that expensive, but supposedly they have. Ritz gonna get the point here, 2-1. Next up we have is category 6. Category 6 is going to be the variety of flavors. For Ritz, they have honey wheat, garlic butter, and 16 other flavors for a total of 18. I bet you didn't know Ritz had that many different flavors. I sure didn't. Meanwhile, for Girl Scout cookies, they have Thin Mints, Lemon Ups, and 10 others for a total of 12. But that is nowhere near the total of Ritz. So Ritz is going to win fairly convincingly 3-1 against the Girl Scouts. They need to go back to the woods and learn some new maneuvers. Meanwhile, Ritz going on to the second round. Next up, we have the 21st seed Biscoff cookies against the 12th seed Honey Maid graham crackers. All right, graham crackers are generic, but we're targeting the Honey Maid specifically. They're the standard. First category is going to be category 8, which is going to be that slogan. All right, the slogan for Biscoff is unique taste, crunchy like no other. A little bit of a mouthful, not too catchy. It is just okay in my opinion. Meanwhile, for graham crackers, Honey Maid graham crackers do not have a slogan currently that I could find, so Biscoff gets away with one. They're up 1-0. Next up is category 1, all right, their popularity. Graham crackers ranked the 12th most popular cookie / cracker. Biscoff in 21st, so they tied up 1-1. Next up we have is category 9. Back to the product placements for graham crackers. They're in 20 movie / TV shows. Meanwhile, for Biscoff, they're in 1. So 1 versus 20, not going to cut it. Graham crackers goes up 2-1. Next up, we have category 4. My personal preference in the matter. All right, graham crackers, of course, are, the best pairing for s'mores. But on their own, I don't care for them. Meanwhile, I can eat some Biscoff cookies alone, even though I think they pair most greatly with some coffee. I'm going to give the nod here to Biscoff. They tie it up 2-2. All right, next up we have is category 6. Category 6 can be the variety of flavors here. Biscoff has vanilla, chocolate, and 3 other flavors for a total of 5. Meanwhile, graham crackers has cinnamon, low fat, and original, so only 3. Biscoff, 2 more flavors, and they're going to come back and win against the graham crackers. So that's our first kind of upset of the day. Biscoff moving on to the second round. Meanwhile, graham crackers failing to win. They are out of here. All right. Next matchup we have, all right, we're getting close to halfway, around halfway, is the 13th seed Townhouse Crackers against the 20th seed Tate's Bake Shop Cookies. Little cracker versus cookie action now. We have category 2 to start us off here, which is going to be the established date. So for Townhouse, they were established in 1940. All right, fairly old, nearly like a World War II era cracker. Meanwhile, Tate's Bake Shop was established in 2000, one of the youngest brands here, only 24 years old. So, Townhouse going to get a point here. All right, next up we have is category 9. All right, once again, product placements been very important here. So Tate's Bake Shop, they're in actually 26 movies and TV shows, a little bit more than I was expecting. Meanwhile, Townhouse wasn't in any that I could find, so Tate's gonna tie it up 1-1. Next up, we got category 4, which is going to be my personal preference. I've only had Tate's once or twice. They were pretty good, but Townhouse crackers, very solid. They now have like the Townhouse flips, which are very solid. I'm going to give the nod here to Townhouse. Next up, we have category 6, then variety of flavors. Once again, for Townhouse, they have pretzel, Italian herb, and 9 others for a total of 11. For Tate's Bake Shop, they have chocolate chip, salted caramel, and 6 others for a total of 8. A little bit less, so Townhouse going to get the point here, winning 3-1. Tate's Bake Shop got baked. They are out of here. Townhouse moving on to the second round, the Big 16. Next matchup, we have the last seed, Lenny and Larry's Cookies, against the 4th seed, Goldfish. Category 8, it's almost like the bowl is reading my mind, is going to be that slogan preference. Lenny and Larry's don't have any slogans that I could find, but Goldfish probably has one of the most iconic in this industry. The snack that smiles back, Goldfish. So, of course, they're going to get the early point here. Next up we have is number 1, that popularity ranking. Lenny and Larry's, of course, last on this list. Meanwhile, Goldfish, the 4th most popular, so they're going to go up quickly 2-0, threatening to sweep Lenny and Larry's. But first, we have category 7. Category 7 is going to be the look preference here. Goldfish, it's a decent logo, okay. Less of a logo and more like a bag design. No, it's a solid logo. I mean, it's a logo. It's not a bag. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, there's detail. There's a decent color. It's not terrible. But I think Lenny and Larry's is one of the better ones in this tournament. I think it's cool. It has detail. The color scheme's solid. The font is wonderful. I'm going to give the nod here to Lenny and Larry. They ain't getting swept on my watch. All right. Next up we have is category 5. All right, category 5 going to be that price per bag for Goldfish. $3, one of the cheaper ones, one of the more affordable ones here. Meanwhile, for Lenny and Larry, I put NA, not applicable, because they only really have either their one cookie, their personal cookie, or like a big box. There's not really an in-between. So regardless, Goldfish going to get the nod here. Trust me, Lenny and Larry's would have been more expensive probably. So Goldfish going to win 3-1 fairly convincingly. Lenny and Larry are out of here. Goldfish moving on to the second round. All right, we're a little bit above halfway. All right, with this next matchup, the 19th seed Animal Crackers. I went with Nabisco's Barnum's brand Animal Crackers to represent against the 14th seed Milano Cookies by Pepperidge Farms. The first category we have is 2. Category 2 being that established date. All right, for Milano Cookies, they were established in 1957. Meanwhile, for Animal Crackers, 1871. All right, it may be the oldest one on this list, or pretty dang close to it. So Animal Crackers are going to get the nod here, 1-0. Next up we have is category 9, the product placements for Animal Crackers, 13 movies and TV shows. For Milano, 12, just one less, which isn't going to help them here. They are down 2-0 now. Next up we have is category 4. Category 4 is going to be my personal preference here. Milano Cookies, very nice, good, delicious cookies. Animal Crackers are so damn bland. I don't get how people like them, okay? So Milano's going to get a point here. Next up, we got category 6, which is going to be variety of flavors. Milano got the double dark, the mint and 10 others for a total of 12. Meanwhile, Animal Crackers is just the OG, baby. Different brands have like the cream-covered ones, but nah, not these kind. They just have OG. So Milano going to tie it up 2-2. Next up, we have Category 3. Category 3 is going to be the customer ratings. For Milano, 4.7 out of 5 star. For Animal Crackers, 4.6 out of 5 star. 0.1 less. Milano came back and took them out. The Animal Crackers are out of here. Meanwhile, Milano moving on to the second round. All right, next matchup we have is the 11th seed Saltines by Nabisco, the premium Saltines. All right, the OG ones, or the at least most popular ones, against the 22nd seed Grandma's Cookies. First category we are drawing is Category 8, which is going to be the slogan. For Grandma's, their slogan is that they don't got one. Something fell. Meanwhile, for Saltine Crackers, you ever heard the pirates say, "Polly want a cracker?" Or not the pirates, but the parrot on their shoulder. That all comes from a ad from Nabisco Saltine Crackers way back in the day. So if you ever heard "Polly want a cracker," it's actually an ad slogan for Saltine Crackers that got turned into this, thing that parrots say to pirates. So, I mean, that's got to be one of the best slogans, period. But definitely in this tournament, they're going to get the first point here, 1-0. Next up, we have Category 4. My personal preference, Grandma's Cookies are just, they're okay. Personally, I'm actually going to go with the Saltines here. I don't typically like them, but they're good with soup, and they help you when you're sick or have a stomach bug. So I gotta go with Saltines here. They're up 2-0, threatening to sweep Grandma's. Next up, we have Category 6, which is going to be the variety of flavors. Saltines have unsalted, whole grain, and the original. Meanwhile, Grandma's have chocolate chip, brownie, and 4 other flavors for a total of 6. So Grandma's ain't going to get swept here, but they are down 2-1 still. Next up we have is Category 3. Category 3 going to be that customer rating. Grandma's 4.5 out of 5 star. Decent, but not amazing. Meanwhile, for the Saltine Crackers, 4.6 out of 5 star. 0.1 better. Saltines are going to move on here to the second round. The Big 16 winning 3-1, while Grandma's are out of here. All right, 4 more matchups. Next up, the 27th seed Entennmans. I'm pretty sure Entennmans. Yeah, Entennmans Cookies against the 6th seed CheezIt. First category we got is 2, which is going to be established date. Entennmans established 1898, one of the older ones here, before the 1900s. Meanwhile, CheezIt's 1921, over 100 years now, but not as old. Entennmans going to get the first point here, 1-0. Next up, we have Category 9, which is going to be the product placement. CheezIts are in 193 movies and TV shows, one of the few that are over 100. Entennmans are only in 24, so CheezIt's going to tie it up 1-1. All right, next up we have is Category 7, which is going to be that look preference. All right, which logo is better? All right, CheezIt's much better logo. That color scheme, very bold, unique. It kind of has a retro look to it. It's iconic. Entennmans blue and white's nice and has a fancy kind of font, which I can appreciate. But CheezIt's, I think, gets the point here. They're going up 2-1. All right, now we have what they're seated upon, popularity. CheezIt's the 6th most popular. Entennmans 3rd to last on this list. So CheezIt's wins 3-1, moving on to the second round. Entennmans, you are out of here, and you're kind of hard to pronounce, so you're done for. Third to last matchup, we have the 7th seed Triscuit against the 26th seed WASA, all right, which is technically crisp bread, but that's the same damn thing as a cracker to me. So they're in here. They're in it to win it. First category we have is 8, which is going to be the slogan preference for WASA. They ain't got no slogan. Meanwhile, for Triscuit, their slogan is unapologetically wholesome. Don't know what that has to do with damn crackers. Don't care for it. But by default, they get a point here. Next up, we have is category 4, my personal preference. WASA is total shit, or at least the one I had. All right, I have a video on it, so go check it out. My WASA review, terrible. Meanwhile, Triscuits, there is bad batches of Triscuits. There are some bland ass batches, but when you get some good Triscuits, oh, they're solid. So I got to go with Triscuit here. They're threatening to sweep WASA quickly. Next up, we have category 6, going to be that variety of flavors. Triscuits have smoked Gouda, garden herb, and 14 others for a total of 16. Meanwhile, WASA has sourdough, light rye, and 11 others for a total of 13, just a few less. They are going to get swept here as Triscuit gets the point, winning 3-0. Moving on to the second round, WASA is out of here. Now we have our second to last matchup, the 23rd seed Lance Crackers against the 10th seed Club Crackers. First category getting pulled here is 2, going to that established date. Lance was established in 1913, over 100 years ago now. Meanwhile, Club Crackers, the oldest on this list, I'm pretty sure, being founded in 1853. All right, over 150 years ago now. Club Crackers definitely getting the point here. Next category we have is category 7. Category 7 is that look preference here between Club Crackers and Lance. None of these made my logo ranking video, so I'm not in love with either of them. However, Lance looks a little outdated. It's kind of boring. However, Club Crackers, very simplistic, kind of boring itself too. I really don't like the Club Cracker one. It looks like a kid drew it up almost. It's just... and you're not even a kid drew it up, but a kid was messing with like Canva, and this was their final outcome. So I'm going to give Lance the slight nod here. So they tie it up 1-1. They win, but not by much there. Category 8 now. Category 8 is going to be the Slogo preference for Club Crackers, light, flaky, buttery. All right. All very nice descriptors of their crackers. I guess I can respect that. But Lance, one of the best ones in this tournament. I got Lance in my pants. All right, what you got in your pants? I got some Lance crackers. I got Lance in my pants. That is by far the more catchy, clever one. They get the nod here, 2-1. All right, next up we got category 4, which is going to be my personal preference here. Club Crackers, ooh, they're nice. They're solid. Lance, a lot more flavors, very nostalgic. But I could definitely munch on some Club Crackers more. All right, I mean, they have a wonderful flaky, buttery taste, whatever their slogan was. So, tied up 2-2, we have a good matchup. It all comes down possibly to a variety of flavors here. Lance, peanut butter, white cheddar, and 15 others for a total of 17. Club Crackers, Mike's Hot Honey, ranch, and 4 others for a total of 6. Some interesting, nice flavors there, but not enough as Lance. They're going to get the final point here, winning 3-2. Moving on to the second round, the Big 16 Club Crackers. You got kicked out of the club. You're out of here. All right, final matchup of this first round. I know it's been kind of a doozy. All right, first rounds are always the longest, but you've made it to this final round, hopefully. We have the 15th seed Famous Amos Cookies against the 18th seed Scooby Snacks. Raggy. I'm sorry, my impression is too good. Category 9 is what we're going to start us off with. I'm going to do a Scooby impression for every time Scooby Snacks. All right, for the movie industry, all right, product placement, we have Famous Amos being in only 4 of them. Meanwhile, Scooby Snacks is not applicable. All right, I wasn't going to say that in Scooby's voice. I'm sorry if I disappointed y'all. So Famous Amos by default getting the lead 1-0. Next category we have is popularity. Well, Famous Amos, 15th most popular. Scooby Snacks. All right, that was so bad. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Yeah. We're neat. Okay, I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, regardless, Famous Amos a little bit more popular than Scooby Snacks. It must be my impression is failing them right now. We got category 10, which we haven't pulled since I think the first fucking round, which is going to be song references, Scooby Snacks, referenced by Matthew Sweet, Kids Bop, and 325 other songs. I think this is second most in this tournament. A lot of people like rapping about Scooby Snacks, singing about Scooby Snacks. Meanwhile, Famous Amos, Kanye West, and Nicki Minaj been rapping about them with 118 total songs, which is very respectable, but not enough. Scooby gonna get his first point here. Yeah, okay. So stop, man, stop. All right, category 5 is, what is category 5? The price. Yeah, price for a bag of Famous Amos, $2.50. Probably one of the cheapest on here, if not the cheapest. Meanwhile, Scooby Snacks, $5 for a box. All right, got a little bit of a price tag there. Not going to cut it. Famous Amos beats Scooby Snacks 3-1. Moving on to the second round. Scooby Snacks, you're out of here, Shaggy. Yeah, at least I won't have to do that anymore. Y'all are like, oh, thankfully. Woo! So there you have it, folks. The end of the first round of this cookie cracker tournament. All right, we had maybe one or two, two sweeps the whole tournament, a few good matches. If you're looking for a Cinderella story in the second round, Nutter Butter the 16th, Biscoff the 21st, and the biggest Cinderella story, the 23rd seed, Lance. So we have a couple 20-plus seeds and a few in the teens. All right, but we have some heavy hitters coming up like Chips Ahoy and Oreo and Keebler. So be on the lookout. Hit me with that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Join the Southern Woods community. I will see y'all in the second round. Southern Woods out.